Hi everyone, my name is Sabapati Narayanan. I am doing a series on different types of stories where our guests would share their stories, both personal and business stories. So, stories are a beautiful way to communicate. It allows you to persuade, it allows you to influence people, it allows you to get your point across, and it allows you to share the simple joys of life. And today we have with us Gautam, who's in a high performance, high pressure sales job. However, we are going to talk to him not about a sales job, but about the adventurous streak that which he has, which is cycling. Okay, so he's been a professional cycler for the last 1 year or so. And welcome to the show, Gautam.
Thank
We're
you.
so
Thank you,
glad
Sir.
to have you here. Could you just give us a brief about how did you get into cycling and how did you become a professional at it?
Okay. It's like probably I'll have to take you around 20, 25 years back where, okay,
Mhm,
I started cycling, say probably my school days. I mean,
mhm,
everyone, you would have done it. So throughout my schooling or initial my college days, I was basically doing cycling for commuting.
mhm,
It was not into passion or fitness as such.
mhm,
So that was a way for me to commute. So eventually, what happened in 2012, I wanted to get back to cycling.
mhm, mhm,
So that's how I first bought my geared cycle. So till then, I was all into VSA or Ranger cycle, what general school kids would do.
mhm,
So in 2012, when I bought my first geared one, I started. I mean, basically, I didn't really know what is all about cycling. So I started doing my morning coffee rides alone,
okay.
not the community ride, where I used to go to a place called Mayas, which is in China, near to my place, where it's around 5-6 kilometers. So that's how my some interest towards regular cycling began. So it began from there, and eventually I used to do like 15 kilometers once in a while, but not regular, like how we regular cyclists do. That was not that way.
Mhm,
So what happened? In between, like how everyone goes through, they start something and they leave it. So that's what happened in 2016-17, where I got really busy with my profession, my other works. So I didn't really find time to do it. So, and also I saw in 2017, 18 end, my fitness had drastically dropped. Okay, even if I go for like a couple of meters walk, for example, 100 200 meters walk, even to have slight snacks or something, I used to feel really tired. So I had put on a lot of unnecessary weights. I mean, in terms of my fat level had gone. I was not feeling good even to look at myself.
mhm,
So
mhm,
then I didn't really start cycling then. Sorry, I didn't really start cycling then. I started basically started going to gym.
mhm,
Like everyone whoever does it, I took a membership, started hitting the gym. But I really had that mindset of willpower then in 2019 that I have to do something now.
mhm,
So I mean, I did it really well for like a couple of months in gym. Then I again figured out probably now it's the time I should see if I can pedal for long distance. Long distance in my mind, it was around go for like 20 kilometers. Okay, have some coffee or breakfast and come back. That was my longest. I really didn't know about community all that.
uh-huh,
So then I got introduced to Decathlon
mhm,
uh, because they also conduct weekend rides. Every Decathlon conducts it, but I was very fortunate. Near my house, there's a Decathlon where they have a wonderful team of a bunch of professional cyclists. When I say professional cyclists, see, I do cycling for passion. So those guys actually do it for racing. Their profession itself is cycling. So when you interact with those people, right? So you get a lot of ideas about the science behind the cycling.
mhm, mhm,
That's how I got introduced to them. And my first longest, I mean, long ride, according to me, was a breakfast ride to Bidadi, a place near Bangalore where you get inside the countryside of Bidadi where you can get wonderful, delicious tate idli.
mhm,
That was my first ride on a Sunday in sometime in July 19,
mhm,
probably a year back. That's how I started. I went for my first 50 plus kilometers.
mhm, mhm,
So, but post that, more than the body pain, right? I mean, if you, I mean, any cyclist would understand the first time when they have done something like long distance, about 50 kilometers. In real cycling world, 50 kilometers is not a long distance, right? It is a
mhm.
warm up ride. So for
Okay.
me, it was long distance then. So I really felt good. More than a body pain, the mindset, okay, the happiness or the post the ride, how relaxed I was feeling
Mhm,
more than the body pain. I started liking that. I felt there is something beyond what I was actually looking in cycling. So eventually I started interacting with that particular community, and I should say I was fortunate to ride with those wonderful bunch of people. Like every community, right? Be it bikers or be it running, you get into a community, right? So those are the one which will keep you going forward.
Mhm.
So if you're lucky enough, get a good community, then everything is sorted. So that's how I actually got in. So that was my probably starting journey of what I can call an adventurous cycling part from last 1 year. Yes.
All right. So yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So you should. I think you owe everything to the Tate Idli that you decided to have at Biddi, I believe. So
Certainly, definitely. And we call the decathlon riding groups of bros, cycling bros.
mhm.
So
Okay.
the bros of that community is what probably I should say help me go through.
All right. All right. So from those 50 kilometers and on. So now where are you currently?
I have, before the lockdown actually hit us in Feb, I have done my first 600.
Is that the largest amount of cycling that anybody does in India?
No, 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 no.
Mhm.
600 probably. I mean, there are something called, okay, in an amateur level, you can say, okay, somebody into long distance, 600 is probably their entry point. Okay, if you
All right.
consider cyclists from Bangalore or Chennai in that matter, or in India, the group especially, they go up to 4,000 kilometers or even longer.
All
So for an ultra endurance cycling, 600 would be your litmus test. If you're able to do your 600, then you can easily start trying your hundreds, thousands or 1,000+ kilometers.
Okay.
So I would say 600 is good to start.
Okay. So what is an ultra that you're talking about?
Ultra endurance is people who does it for multiple days. See, for example, 600 we take a couple of days, probably like 36 hours, 40
Mhm.
hours kind of thing. Where for ultra endurance, distances, people do it for multiple days,
Mhm.
70 hours, 90 hours. So there are a lot of people who does it. Sabha. Bangalore or Chennai have a lot of wonderful cyclists. At least in South India, I know.
Mhm.
So who does lot of rides, because I started working, riding with these groups, right? I saw a lot of people and then professional. When I say they're working in a high profile jobs or they for their regular work,
Mhm.
but cycling wise, they do really long distance cycling. So looking at them, it is actually inspiring for me, who started like 1 year back. Looking at them, where they are like in their mid 40s, some people are in their mid 50s. They are able to do it at a really high pace
Mhm.
and ultra distance. Ultra distance is like 2,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers in their 40s. That's
Mhm.
actually in my 30s, right? And I look at to them as like, oh, when I'm in my 40s, I should definitely try.
Okay.
Be fit in them and try something. So that is very inspiring. Looking at people around you who does that,
Mhm. Mhm. All right.
and none of them are free, Sabha. Basically, there are very high professional. Professionals in working in a very high profile jobs
Mhm.
where they still find time to, pursue their passions and do it.
Okay. So
And
what?
none of the rides actually give you money. Basically, you pay and you ride. So or you
Yeah.
ride it.
Yeah. I was just going to come into that. Okay. So what's the typical pace that you guys do when you do a 600 or 1,000 or whatever?
See, it depends from your. One is of course your stamina.
Mhm.
The second is like how long you have been pedaling.
Mhm.
For a rider who has done his thousands, and probably they might be doing in like 20 to 25 would be the average.
Mhm. All right.
That's the average I'm talking about.
So,
The pace may vary,
so we're
but
talking
in a
about
general,
kilometers, right?
yeah. For example, if you are completing your 600 kilometers, a very good fit rider would do it somewhere in 20 to 25 kilometer average. So
Mhm.
my average right now is around 19, 20, 21. It varies from there.
Okay.
So that's a good time for long distances. But yeah, the more you pedal, your body responds that way. So yes.
See, the biggest question that I have when it comes to cycling is the entry barriers are very high, right? So the cycle costs a lot of money, and then you have a bunch of accessories to go with it. And then for you to become a part of a community, it runs into thousands and thousands of rupees or even lakhs of rupees for you to get into that mode where you are talking about specific shoes and the kind of attire that you need to have and the kind of padding that it needs to have and the lights and all of this put together. So what's a typical entry barrier for a cyclist?
Okay. Generally, it's a misconception, Sabha.
Mhm.
Okay, because when you see in a TV, right? For example, if you're watching a Tour de France, certainly those cycles would cost few lakhs or
Mhm.
more than that.
Mhm.
Probably some cycles would even cost around 20, 30 lakhs. High-end cycles.
Mhm.
But those are for professional races.
Okay.
If you're planning into racing, yes, that's a different parallel story. That's something. It's a different topic. But if you're doing cycling because you like it, if you're doing, some people probably may, most of them, at least I would say 80% or 90% of people who do cycling for fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in that way, entry point, I mean, barrier is not about money. Basically, you can even get a cycle for 3,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees without gear cycle.
Okay.
That is good enough to do any distance. If it is a good quality cycle,
Mm-hmm.
you can do any distance. See, I would say cycle is only at 20%.
Okay.
Okay, cycle is only at 20%, where around 50% is about your mind.
All right.
This is your fitness. Because eventually you will become fitter when you start pedaling. The initial mind block is like whether I'll be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone, if my even my wife, when she listens for me, okay, I've done my 100 today, okay, it's my warm up ride. She's like 100 kilometers.
Okay.
So for somebody from outside, when you hear it, it looks big. But when you start at Sabah, any distance is not. It's not a matter of time. I mean, it's all in the mind. And I would say it's also not about money. You can start with basic of like even 2,000, 3,000 rupee cycle and without a gear. Probably I would recommend buy a helmet. That you would probably get at 500, 600. Apart from that, you don't need anything. You can have a backpack and water bottle carrying it. You don't even need any gears to start with. But eventually it will hit you. I mean, basically, eventually you go further in that line when you like it. You may go for better cycles and better accessories for your comfort. Like for example, I would say probably anybody watching this will be able to relate it. See, you can do any distance in your basic motorbike also. For example, if you want to do Leh Ladakh from Chennai, even with a Splendor or even with a scooty, you can still do Leh Ladakh. Or you can buy a Triumph Tiger or BMW GS and do it, which will cost you around 20 lakhs. Depends on what comfortable you're looking, what kind of features you want in your bike. More the distance, you will want much more comfortable stuff. That's what it's.
Yeah, from Chennai to Leh Ladakh, definitely for me it has to be flying. It cannot be a bike or a cycle, definitely. Okay. So yeah, so you were talking about 600 kilometers in 36 hours, right? So what do you actually do in those 36 hours apart from pedaling?
See, it's a different thing. Many people would do different aspects about thing. For me, it's about meditation. I mean, I'll tell you probably long distance cycling. It's how it started for me. Why I started liking it. When I started doing a couple of hundreds. Okay, I used to take around 5 hours initially, 5.5 hours, 6 hours. So those are my rides where in between we used to have a coffee or breakfast. Community, we used to talk to people, but overall, you used to only talk to others for example, maximum of an hour time. Remaining 4 hours to 5 hours, you are on your own. You anyways have to see the road. You need to be cautious. But apart from that, you are on your own. So eventually, it will lead to some kind of mindfulness without your knowledge. So that's what happened to me. So I didn't really know anything about mindfulness. I didn't know anything about meditation. Sorry. So eventually, without realization, I started feeling good. That happiness, probably some endorphins or some kind of things. Without knowing, it hit me in a good way. So that's what it led to me. Okay, more the ride, more the distance, the more the time I spend with myself. Why I say spending time with myself? You can sit at home and spend time with yourself in a room. But how many of us would be able to do it? You sit without, I mean, for 15 minutes without having any thought, it's literally impossible, at least in this generation.
No, I mean, the moment you want to sit 15 minutes without any thought, that itself is a difficult task. Okay, the moment you, so the thought itself is a difficult
I was in that phase. I was in that phase. I couldn't, even while watching TV, I used to get a lot of other thoughts, which was not necessary. In a theater, I was in a theater, but thinking about something with my girlfriend or my wife or family, thinking about something else. So I was not in that present. I was not enjoying that moment. So, but I didn't do anything to fix it. Eventually, this cycling journey helped me or led me towards it without my knowledge.
All right.
So that's how I would do a lot of self introspection in terms of, okay, I think where I'm going, what I'm doing. And I sometimes for an hour, for even 45 minutes to 1 hour, I'm just myself without having any thoughts.
Okay.
That feel, right? That's something you can only get in any endurance sport, be it running or be it cycling, be it any ultra endurance sport. If you see any ultra endurance athletes, be it like Milind Soman or whoever in that space, right, who does long distance stuff, why do they do it so often? What does that give them?
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question actually. So,
Okay.
so what forces you to actually, or what prompts you to do this at regular intervals? Because it's high endurance and it takes a lot out of your body and it takes a lot out of your mind. Okay, so how do you push yourself to do this at regular intervals?
Like I said, probably the feel post the ride.
Hmm.
After completing every milestone, be it like 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, or you just do Nandi Hill, which is like you can probably consider that's one of the hotspots for cyclists in Bangalore.
Hmm.
Okay, you have a cycle, you have a motorbike, you have to go to Nandi. So that's
Okay,
how it
correct.
is. So I have done a lot of trips in my bike, a car. I never felt that happy. But when I did my first Nandi climb in my cycle, the kind of the happiness or some kind of like feel like I have done something.
Hmm.
That kind of feel I never felt it earlier. Probably I started getting that feel or that kind of happiness or post the ride. Forget the body pain. Of course, your body go through a lot of drills, a lot of beatings,
Hmm.
but the happiness, the feel what you get, that is unmatchable. Basically, you're getting high without even smoking up. So
All
you
right.
can really have that feel. So you
Right.
don't need to have any kind of unnecessary bad stuff entering your body, but you can still feel
All right. Yeah, feeling high is anyway a state of mind. So
high.
you
Yeah,
you kind of achieve that. So have you had any injuries in your cycling?
I am very fortunate in terms of that part because I was riding with professionals. So
Mhm.
I was constantly getting advices like how should I progress in terms of my cycling journey.
Mhm.
Okay, too soon is like any distance is a bad thing. So
But,
it has to be progressive.
but isn't a year too short for going from 0 to 600 kilometers?
No,
Not really.
actually,
Okay. Okay.
not really, not really. But yeah, in between, yes, I had gone through a phase where I was like exerting more.
Mhm.
I was like morning I used to go to gym, evening I used to go to gym, weekends I used to hit like long distance cycling, like
Mhm.
300 kilometers, sometimes 200 kilometers, but my intake was not that sufficient.
Mhm.
So I used to fall sick quite often. So this is something I learned it probably going through that pain.
Mhm.
So when then I went to fixing it. I went and met dietitians and how should I do it? What
Mhm.
should my method? There's something everybody misses, but that's fine. Subha. You have to learn some things through your way. In terms of injuries, yes, because I was riding with people. Whenever I had like some niggle, they used to tell me, okay, this is niggle or this is going to be a pain or this is going to be an injury. So those kind of things or pre-stretchings or post the right stretchings that would certainly help. And keeping yourself fit by doing other physical activities should be able to help you in terms of society.
Okay. So yeah, staying in Bangalore, the climate isn't really bad. So do you actually cycle to office as well?
Once in a while, I started doing it, but what used to happen is carrying laptop and going wait and being it's in sales. Sometimes if I have to meet my clients and
Mhm.
I can't really go in shorts, so I used to carry my formals and keep it in the office. It is possible. I'm not saying it is not possible. It is possible, but I started feeling okay. I like cycling
Mhm.
the way I was pedaling. For example, weekends I enjoy going long distances. That's what I prefer more than everyday commuting. So what I do is now once I make sure like few days in a week I pedal, few days in a day I go by my other transport.
Okay. So what would be one piece of advice that you may want to give aspiring cyclists? So how should they get into it? And
Okay, I would say start early.
all right.
Okay, see what I felt about if I had known all this whatever I have learned in the last 1 year, if I had known this during my say probably high school days,
Mhm.
okay, it would have been far better. Now
Right.
if you see I see a lot of my younger I mean nephews or people who are coming the new generation in my house itself, right? So all of them are into like mobiles or video games. I'm not saying it's bad, but what we used to do it like outdoor games that is missing.
Right.
So if you start early, it's far better. And if you want to do it for fitness, wonderful. There's nothing like cycling.
Mhm.
You can start. People who want to do it for cycling, I mean weekends or regular commuting, they can start. I mean any cycle would do. You don't actually need an high end, high geared cycle. Any basic cycle would do to start with. Once you start, once you get it, it's like buying a shoes for running. You can start with anything and later, according to your comfort and according to your thing. But what I suggest, the first thing they have to do is find a right community.
Okay.
Those are the people who are going to motivate you. Those are the people who are going to take you along with them. A good community will take you long distance. Otherwise, solo rides, people do it. You will be like lethargic in some aspects, and you may want to do it today. You don't want to do it tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
In community, they will push you. Even
Right.
if you don't want to do your down on that day, they will call you and motivate you. Like, let's do it. So that's what is like important factor about communities.
Pretty interesting, Gautam. So is there anything else that you want to add?
Now, probably whoever has cycle and who are not able to go outside during the lockdown, I say there are a lot of ways you can do indoor cycling with a very bare minimum investments. You can buy a trainer, small trainer, or a roller pads. Start doing something inside.
So is
At
that
least for a few moments.
Is that something
Sorry?
that you do? Is that something that you do?
Yes, yeah. Generally, what used to happen is trainers are meant for somebody who are into professional cycling. They do it to keep their cadence level matched, or they monitor a lot of things.
Okay.
So for them, it was useful. For passionate cyclists who I really love it going outdoors. Okay, I really don't enjoy indoor any aspect. So I started doing this because if I leave it now, I don't pedal it for good 5-6 months. Then getting back to that mode will be difficult in terms of my regular cadence, or completing that would be a challenge. Because considering Bangalore or any cities right now, the situation is a bit different. So that's how during the lockdown, I bought myself a trainer where I connected my existing cycle itself to a trainer. And there are a lot of softwares now. So a lot of discounts are going on, a lot of softwares where you can buy that softwares and start pedaling indoors. When the situation gets better, of course, the first thing we will all do is go out and pedal. But till then, yes, keep yourself fit, get some sunlight. That should be the best thing to do.
So when you say indoors, I mean, do you also, when you do indoors, do you do some specific trails using the software?
Yes. See, once you start cycling, Musaba, you will get to understand a lot of beautiful places in the world where you can pedal. For example, LEL or Paris trails. Basically you like it. You see those on TV, right? You like it, including France, Tour de France. So someday I also want to go and do it. For most of us, it may not be possible to take our cycles and go there. So having nowadays softwares where it will take you to different trails, different ways. In fact, I use a software called Zwift. There's a promotion for it, but yeah, Zwift. What is I use? They have even Tour de France virtual. You can even do Tour de France in that. So a lot of things nowadays have come. So it's like having Zoom in your background. Many things you can have it sit somewhere.
Yeah, luckily we don't have any. So yeah. So what was the last trail that you did indoors?
I did my London.
Okay, all right. So how far is it?
I did around 60 kilometers.
All right, cool.
Across the city of London. I felt really good. I've been to Europe many times, but I didn't really go to London. So I want to do it.
Yeah. So probably the next time when you go there, you should pack a weekend with it, and then should also go.
I should rent a cycle.
Yeah. So it was nice talking to you, Gautam. It was so much fun. And how do people reach you? Is there a handle where they can reach you?
Yeah, certainly they can follow me on Strava. That is the app what most of the cyclists and runners they use. I can connect to any of them, and if they want anything, I can probably help. Or see, there are a lot of things I learned from the other professionals. So what I can do is, if I don't know anything, probably I can ask them or connect or put them into the community. So anybody in Bangalore, feel free to reach out to me. It is easy to connect nearby communities. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Fantastic, Gautam. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
We should cycle somewhere sometime, Sabha.
Yeah,
I hope to see you buy a cycle.
No, I do have a cycle. Yeah, so but a lot of other barriers that I spoke about. So that's what has prevented me from doing it. So now that you have said that all of that is a misconception, probably I should give it a try.
Start with small distance. That should be.
Yeah, so I think I should get started. Okay, thank you so much, Gautam.
And before we end it, Sabha, please introduce your son to cycling. For his age, suddenly he'll go long.
All right, I'll do keep that in mind, Gautam. Thank you so much, and thank you, viewers, for watching this video. And I request you to subscribe to this video And after subscribing, also click on the bell icon so that you'll get notified whenever there is a new video that comes up. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.